Every time I play through either Path of Radiance or Radiant Dawn, something I always look forward to is how I'm going to spend my bonus experience. The ability to give a boost to any character you want in your army without actually having to kill stuff with them gives you a lot of flexibility as a player, and allows you to really give some special treatment to your favorite units. I think a lot of people will agree that the Tellius game's base preparations are some of the most enjoyable ones in the series. There's just so much to do. You can talk with the various members of your army, build supports, visit the shop, forge weapons, and of course, you can dish out bonus experience, which I think is one of the most fun things to do in these games. And yet, as a mechanic, bonus experience was ever only used in the two Tellius games. We haven't seen it come back in any of the newer installments. Why is that? Well, in this video we will take a bit of a look at bonus experience as a mechanic, how it worked, how it could be used, and in some cases abused, and we will discuss whether or not it should be brought back in a future Fire Emblem game. In case you don't know exactly how bonus experience works, it changes slightly from the two games it's in, but the core concept is the same in both. You build up a joint pool of experience by completing maps in a certain amount of turns, but you can also obtain more by completing side objectives unique to each map, such as keeping certain units alive or sneaking through a prison without alerting the guards. You can then use your accumulated bonus experience as a resource during the base preparations to level up any unit of your choice. Pre-promoted units require more bonus experience to level up compared to unpromoted ones, and on harder difficulties, the amount of bonus experience you get is drastically reduced. Skills such as Paragon does interact with the system, making the character only require half as much bonus experience to level up. Growth boosting items such as the Night Ward can also be traded around between units in the base prep to get more value out of their levels, and the same is also true for the various bands that characters come equipped with on the second playthrough. In Path of Radiance, bonus experience is a fantastic tool to level up units that join a little on the weak side but has great potential. Characters such as Nephany, Mia, and Jill are extremely popular targets for bonus experience. In Radiant Dawn, the bonus experience system received some major changes. You could now actually see how much you obtained after each battle, and it would also tell you where it came from. Though, for some reason, this option was set to be disabled by default, meaning you had to activate it manually from the menu to view it. I have no idea why players wouldn't want this to always be on unless they were doing a speedrun. Additionally, green units fighting would now transfer any experience they would have earned in combat over to the player in the form of bonus experience, actually giving you an incentive to let them do some of the fighting. However, one of the biggest changes to bonus experience was how a character leveling up would now guarantee a total of 3 stat ups per level, usually gaining a single point in their 3 highest growth rates, excluding any capped stats. This changed how bonus experience was utilized by most players. No longer was it primarily just a useful tool to level up underleveled characters, but instead it was used by many players to manipulate stat gains by waiting to give units bonus experience until after they capped certain stats. An example of this can be seen with the soldier Aaron, who is very likely to cap both his skill and defense early on due to his high growth rates in the stats, meaning that if you wait a little bit before giving him bonus levels, he is extremely likely to get 1 point in both strength and speed with each level he gains, meaning his bonus experience levels become far more valuable than his regular ones. I think the developers made the system work this way because they didn't like people being able to reset for bad level ups like they could in Path of Radiance, and I think they probably wanted bonus levels to be a bit more of a reliable and predictable resource. But I think that by changing it to work this way, they unwittingly created a weird system that actually works in a complete opposite way to how it was intended. With this new change, you would now want to save up large amounts of bonus experience and only use it on characters with several capped stats, making your strong units even stronger, instead of making your weaker units catch up, which I think was always the intent of bonus experience to begin with. A very common criticism I see against bonus experience as a mechanic is that it breaks the game, and it is far too easy to abuse, especially in Path of Radiance where you get so much of it. If you save up enough, you can do hilarious things like instantly promoting Nephany to a Halberdier or Jill to a Wyvern Lord 1 chapter after they join. Path of Radiance is already known for its very low difficulty, and bonus experience certainly doesn't help in this regard, though on the Japanese exclusive Maniac mode, the amount of bonus experience you get is drastically reduced, to the point where you hardly get any at all. In Radiant Dawn's hard mode, you also get far less of it, and characters also require twice as much bonus experience to level up. Promoted units are practically impossible to level up this way, at least early on. However, there are certain points during the game where you get huge amounts of bonus experience dumped into your lap, especially if you complete certain objectives in the right way, such as in Chapter 2-3, Joffrey's Charge, where you can earn literal thousands of it by sparing as many rebel soldiers as possible. And by doing this, you can do funny things later on, like dump it all on Hart or turn him into even more of a killing machine than he already is. Or you could spend it all on Heather, making her go from a kind of bad unit to a slightly less bad unit. I'm just saying, you have that option if you want to. I do agree that while bonus experience is an incredibly fun mechanic, it is way too easy to exploit in both of the games, because it allows you to take a single unit and turn it into an absolute monster, which can really mess with the balance of the game. A way to prevent a player from doing this would be to enforce a system of diminishing returns, incurring a penalty for each level given to a character beyond the first in a single chapter. Another simple fix would be to simply enforce a hard cap of 2 to 3 bonus levels per map per character, just like Path of Radiance prevents you from forging more than one item per map. But if bonus experience is brought back, how should it function? Should we use the random level ups from Path of Radiance, or the forced 3-point system from Radiant Dawn? I kinda think both versions have their own sets of problems. Path of Radiance allows you to reload your save file if you get a string of bad levels, which is a bit exploitable, whereas Radiant Dawn has the weird side effect of incentivizing you to hold onto your bonus experience until your character starts to cap their stats. Overall, I do prefer the way it works in Path of Radiance, and there is a very simple fix to prevent the save scumming that already exists in another game. In Fire Emblem Fates, level ups are actually predetermined at the start of the game. The characters still use their growth rates and a random number generator to gain levels, but you cannot reset your game to get a different string of numbers. The RNG the game uses to determine level ups is a different one to what the game uses for combat. You'll get the same ones no matter how many times you try. Only resetting the game from the very start will allow you to change this. By simply borrowing this feature from Fates, you could easily implement the Path of Radiance style of bonus experience without breaking the game. Here's the question though, even if we include checks and balances to make sure bonus experience cannot be exploited, would it still be a good mechanic, and should it be brought back in a future Fire Emblem game? Personally, I love any mechanic that incentivizes the player to push forward. If there is no reason to rush, there is nothing preventing you from just taking things nice and easy. And no, I don't advocate that the LTC playstyle is the only one that matters, but I personally find maps a lot more exciting if there's something forcing me to move forward, as without such an incentive, Fire Emblem very often devolves into a simple game of bait and switch, where you slowly move your army forward while pulling the enemies in very small manageable numbers. Some people might find this playstyle comfy, but I personally find it very repetitive if it happens a lot. Some maps can of course give the player motivation to hurry up by having things like brigands going for villages or thieves going for chests, but not every map can have such mechanics, and bonus experience would help with the variety at least. It might be a bit of an arbitrary system, and some people might not like it, but I think it would be enjoyable as long as the player is fully aware of it beforehand. During the battle preps, there could be a menu that just explains to the player how bonus experience would be obtained, and the player could then make a conscious choice to either pursue or ignore it. Another idea is to combine this feature with other new mechanics to the series, such as the turn wheel. How about a system that rewards the player by giving them bonus experience for each charge of Divine Pulse left unspent at the end of each map? Yes, I realize this would make some players very reluctant to use the turn wheel altogether, so maybe there could be a bit of a middle ground here, like the first charge is free, but any after that will lose you out on some bonus experience every time. This way, players who don't make mistakes and don't rely on the turn wheel to get through maps will be rewarded with extra levels for their units. Proper play gives better rewards, but it won't ruin your entire game plan to use Divine Pulse just once or twice. I have a few more ideas regarding bonus experience and how to make it into more than just a reward for playing quickly. How about giving the player bonus experience for unlocking supports? Or in the case of tree houses, choosing to rest or attending a seminar could reward you with a bit of bonus experience to make up for everything you lose out on by not exploring. Or how about this one? Stealable tokens you could grab from enemies with your thief that when used could grant a little bit of bonus experience for your party. Little cute gimmicks like these could really help spice up bonus experience as a mechanic and make it into more than just something pushing the player forward. If something is hard to accomplish, you can use bonus experience as a reward for it. Overall, I think bonus experience as a mechanic is one of the high points of the Tellius games, and I would love to see it return to a future Fire Emblem game, though with some changes to keep it in check, of course. What do you guys think? Do you think bonus experience is a good or a bad mechanic? And how would you propose to change some of its flaws in a future installment? Let me know your answer in the comment section below, and if you wouldn't mind hitting the like button, that greatly helps out the channel a lot. And of course, if you wouldn't mind hitting the subscribe button, you will be automatically notified whenever new Fire Emblem videos come out on my channel. I actually plan to do more videos like these discussing older mechanics from past games and how they could be incorporated into a newer one. Next up, I want to discuss leadership stars, how they were implemented and what effect they had on the game, so definitely stay tuned for that if you find that interesting. If there's any other mechanics you'd like me to explore in the future, you can mention them in the comment section below. Until next time, my name has been Mangs, and I'll see you guys soon. Bye bye!